President Cyril Ramaphosa has signed the Basic Education Laws Amendment, Bela Bill into law, introducing significant changes aimed at improving South Africa's education system. The Bela Bill aims to fix challenges in schools, improve accountability, and make education more fair and effective. The key highlights of the new legislation include: 1. Making grade R mandatory. It will be compulsory for all children to attend grade R, the year before grade 1. 2. Helping undocumented learners. Schools must accept children without official documents, ensuring no child is left behind. 3. Stronger rules for school governing bodies. School governing bodies must be transparent about finances and cannot misuse funds. Members must declare conflicts of interest, like hiring family members or making deals with businesses they are involved in. 4. Language policies. Schools may be required to teach in more than one language if possible, and the government must provide support for this. South African Sign Language will officially be recognized as a teaching language. 5. Learner discipline and safety. No more corporal punishment or initiation practices in schools. Drug and alcohol use on school premises will have stricter regulations. Serious misconduct will be clearly defined to guide suspensions and expulsions. 6. Centralizing resources. The government will handle bulk buying of learning materials to save money and improve efficiency. 7. Home education. Clearer rules and better support for parents choosing to homeschool their children. 8. Special schools and talented learners. Some schools will focus on developing special talents, such as sports, arts, or other skills. 9. Simpler processes for parents. Parents applying for school fee exemptions can submit affidavits if information from the other parent is unavailable. 10. Accountability for educators. Educators will be banned from doing business with the government to prevent corruption. 11. Dispute resolution. A system will be introduced to resolve conflicts between schools and education officials. 12. Tougher penalties. Stronger punishments for anyone breaking education laws, such as running unregistered schools or submitting fake documents. Why is the Bela Bill important? The bill is designed to address past inequalities in education, ensure schools run smoothly and fairly, support learners' rights and protect their interests, improve financial and public accountability in schools. The Bela Bill is a big step towards making South Africa's education system better and more inclusive. It ensures that every child, regardless of their background, gets a fair chance to succeed. These reforms aim to create a more equitable, inclusive, and effective education system in South Africa. The Democratic Alliance, DA, Freedom Front Plus, AfriForum, Solidarity, has voiced strong opposition to the Basic Education Laws Amendment, Bela Bill, arguing that it undermines the role of schools and communities while failing to address critical challenges in South Africa's education system. Key issues raised by the DA. 1. Compulsory grade R. While the DA supports the idea of mandatory grade R for young learners, it highlights that the government lacks the R12 billion needed for proper implementation. This could lead to budget cuts for essential programs like school meals and learner transport. 2. Admission policies. The bill shifts power over school admissions from local school governing bodies, SGBs, to provincial heads of departments, HODs. The DA warns this centralization could lead to inefficiencies and abuse of power, calling instead for targeted mechanisms to prevent discrimination. 3. Language policies. The DA opposes reducing SGB's control over language policies, fearing this could negatively affect schools offering mother tongue education. It also criticizes the impracticality of HODs managing language decisions for all schools in a province. 4. Centralization of power. The DA argues the bill gives too much control to provincial and national authorities, limiting local input. It also raises concerns about short deadlines for SGBs to appeal decisions, such as dissolutions. 5. Homeschooling and modern learning. The bill does not adequately address homeschooling concerns or incorporate lessons from the pandemic about the importance of online and blended learning. The DA also points out shortcomings in protecting students who are victims of sexual assault and says the public participation process for the bill was poorly handled. In summary, the DA believes the Bela Bill centralizes too much power, neglects systemic problems like poor infrastructure and teacher quality, and risks undermining the education system instead of improving it. The Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, have announced plans to pursue legal action to ensure the Basic Education Laws Amendment (BELA) Act is implemented in its original form. The party has expressed concerns about what it describes as efforts to protect African children from exclusionary practices it attributes to white supremacists and their allies. The EFF accused President Cyril Ramaphosa of undermining equitable access to mother tongue education, particularly for African languages, through alleged secretive negotiations with organizations it claims prioritize white privilege. This follows a statement by the Solidarity Movement asserting that a settlement had been reached with the government regarding the Bela Bill, sparking further controversy. Deputy President Paul Masatile dismissed the Solidarity Movement's claims, clarifying that the statement stemmed from a process outside the official clearing-house mechanism, which guides discussions among the government of national unity parties. Meanwhile, President Ramaphosa reaffirmed that the Bela Act, having been duly passed by Parliament and signed into law, must be implemented, with the exception of Sections 4 and 5, which remain subject to ongoing discussions. The Bela Act has been enacted, and the Minister of Basic Education is required to work towards its implementation, notwithstanding deliberations on Sections 4 and 5, the presidency stated. Last week, Minister of Basic Education Sivu Gwarube announced an agreement with Solidarity concerning the execution of her duties regarding the Bela Act's implementation. However, Ramaphosa emphasized that this agreement had no legal or practical influence on the inclusive multi-party discussions related to Sections 4 and 5, nor on the President's authority to determine the Act's commencement. The EFF rejected Ramaphosa's response, calling it an inadequate attempt to deflect responsibility for a process it claims demonstrates weak leadership and a lack of accountability. The party criticized what it sees as a delay in implementing critical provisions of the Bela Act due to negotiations with organizations it describes as protecting white privilege. Ramaphosa's assertion that the Bela Act's implementation is inevitable rings hollow when key clauses addressing exclusionary practices remain unresolved. His administration's capitulation to the demands of organizations like Solidarity exposes its unwillingness to enforce transformative legislation, the EFF said. The EFF accused the administration of allowing white supremacist organizations, including Solidarity, the Democratic Alliance (DA), Freedom Front Plus (FF Plus), and AfriForum, to exert undue influence on government processes. The party described the agreement between the Education Minister and Solidarity as an act of sabotage against a bill designed to address historical injustices, particularly regarding Afrikaans as a potential barrier in education. The EFF reiterated its commitment to ensuring the original form of the Bela Act is implemented, stating that any delays or deviations undermine South Africa's democratic processes and perpetuate inequality in education.